the silence of a midnight library, the new study partner doesn't breathe, but it talks back instantly, and it never gets tired. It can summarize a lecture in seconds, draft an outline before dawn, and answer the question that has been circling in a student's mind for hours. On some campuses, that partner has already become routine. A recent survey suggested that 85% of students had used generative AI for coursework in the past year. Another large university study estimated that about 2/3 of undergraduates used it during the academic year. This is no longer a novelty. It is part of the campus rhythm. And that raises a bigger question. What happens to college when every student has a tutor in their pocket and every professor has a digital assistant on their screen? For generations, college has been built on a familiar pattern. Read, write, remember, repeat. Show up to class, take notes, search the library stacks, stay up late and wrestle with the blank page. But AI has slipped into that process with unsettling speed. It does not arrive like a dramatic invasion. It arrives as convenience. A student asks it to explain a dense reading in simpler language. Another uses it to brainstorm a thesis statement. Someone else asks for practice quiz questions before an exam. A first-year student who feels lost on campus uses it to map out a study plan, a schedule, even an email to a professor. The old college backpack carried books, pens, and a laptop. The new one carries prompts, drafts, and an assistant that never sleeps. And for many students, that feels like a breakthrough. College has always demanded more than knowledge. It demands organization, confidence, and time. AI promises to give some of that time back. It can break a confusing article into plain English. It can suggest a structure for an essay. It can help a student compare sources, refine a presentation, or translate a rough idea into something more polished. For students balancing jobs, family obligations, internships, and packed course loads, that can feel less like a luxury and more like survival. The appeal is obvious. When deadlines stack up and attention is fractured, a tool that reduces friction can feel like a lifeline. The effect reaches beyond writing. Students are using AI to study faster and more strategically. They are asking it to quiz them, to identify weak spots, to turn lecture notes into flashcards, and to simulate practice conversations before presentations. Some use it to start research, not finish it. That difference matters. A good use of AI can be like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. It helps you see the shape of the task. It can point you towards sources, organize your thoughts, and keep you moving when the work feels overwhelming. In that sense, AI is not only speeding up college, it is changing what students believe productivity looks like. But there is another side to the story, because the more useful a tool becomes, the easier it is to depend on it. The line between support and substitution can disappear quietly. A student who once struggled through a paragraph may now let the machine write the first draft. A student who once spent an hour outlining an argument may now accept the outline the model suggests without asking whether it is actually strong. At first, that feels efficient. Then it starts to feel necessary. And that is where the campus conversation begins to change. Because college is not only about producing work, it is about learning how to think under pressure, how to revise, how to make mistakes, and how to recover from them. Professors are living through the same disruption from the other side of the desk. They are not watching AI from a distance. They are using it too. In many cases, not for shortcuts, but for time. Faculty have begun using AI to help design lesson plans, draft discussion prompts, build rubrics, and shape assignments. Some use it to compare versions of a syllabus, sharpen wording, or brainstorm new ways to explain a difficult concept. In one large analysis of educator conversations, the most common use was curriculum development. That tells you something important. This is not simply a student problem. It is a teaching revolution happening in real time. For professors, the promise is enormous. AI can help them move faster through repetitive work so they can spend more energy on the work that matters most. It can support grading efficiency by organizing feedback, highlighting patterns across submissions, and flagging common misconceptions. It can help instructors notice where an entire class is getting stuck. It can also support personalized learning by helping create multiple versions of a lesson, multiple levels of practice, and multiple ways into the same idea. For a professor managing hundreds of students, those gains can mean more connection, not less. More time for office hours, more time for mentoring, more time for the human parts of teaching that no machine can replace. That is the promise at the heart of AI on campus. Not replacement. Extension. Not the end of teaching or learning. A new layer on top of both. Imagine a professor using AI to prepare a lecture more efficiently, then spending that saved time in conversation with students who are struggling. Imagine a student using AI to understand a concept before class, then arriving ready to ask deeper questions. Imagine research that used to take days of sorting through material becoming a sharper, more guided process. In the best case, AI does not lower the value of college. It raises the ceiling of what college can do. Still, every transformation carries a shadow, and this one is no exception. As soon as AI became common, academic honesty moved from a simple rule into a complicated debate. What counts as help? What counts as cheating? If a chatbot suggests a paragraph, is that assistance, collaboration, or authorship? If a student uses AI to brainstorm but writes every sentence alone, is that different from using it to polish the final draft? Many students do not see these choices as obvious violations. In one university study, more than a third of students said they had used a chatbot to assist with an assessment, and many did not necessarily view that as an integrity breach. That is the new reality. The norms are shifting faster than the policies, and colleges are feeling the pressure. Some schools are responding by tightening detection systems. Others are realizing that detection alone cannot solve the problem. Because the truth is uncomfortable. AI detectors are imperfect, and sometimes dangerously so. False positives can punish the wrong student. Some tools are known to be cautious for a reason, because they are not courtroom-grade truth machines. Worse, research has shown that detectors can disproportionately flag non-native English writing, creating a chilling possibility on campus. Who gets suspected first when the machine gets it wrong? If a student is already under stress, already writing in a second language, already fighting to be understood, a flawed detection system can do real damage. The question is no longer only whether AI can help students cheat. It is also whether the systems meant to catch cheating can be trusted to judge fairly. That is why many universities are changing the assignment itself. Instead of trying only to catch AI use after the fact, they are redesigning the conditions of learning. More in-class writing, more oral defenses, more staged drafts, more process evidence, more assignments that ask students to explain their thinking, not just display an answer. In other words, the goal is becoming legibility. If AI is part of the work, schools want to know how it was used. If it is not part of the work, students need to know that too. This is not a retreat from academic standards. It is a recalibration of them. Because when the tools change, the definition of proof has to change as well. Then comes the issue no one can ignore for long: access. On some campuses, the real divide is not major versus major. It is who can afford the best AI. Some students pay for premium models and advanced features. Others rely on basic versions or nothing at all. That creates a hidden advantage. A student with a stronger tool may get faster drafting, better summaries, and more polished outputs. A student without access may be left behind, even if they are equally capable. Recent student reports have raised exactly this concern. Universities are confronting a new kind of inequity, where opportunity can depend on a subscription. And in higher education, that should sound like an alarm. The access gap has exposed a deeper truth. AI is not automatically democratizing. It can widen differences just as easily as it can close them. If one student can use a powerful model for tutoring, translation, research support, and planning, while another cannot, then the technology is not leveling the field. It is redrawing it. That is why some institutions are beginning to offer campus-wide access with guardrails, framing the service as secure and institutionally managed. The idea is simple. If AI is going to become part of academic life, then access should not depend entirely on personal wealth. But even that solution comes with questions. Who gets access? What is monitored? What data is stored? What counts as safe? And who decides? There is also a quieter risk that does not show up in policy documents. Over-reliance can erode the very skills college is supposed to sharpen: critical thinking, creativity, communication, persistence. If AI becomes the first answer to every difficult moment, students may stop practicing the mental struggle that makes learning stick. Why outline if the machine can outline? Why draft, revise, and wrestle with a sentence if the system can make it smoother? Why sit with confusion if a quick prompt can erase it? The fear is not that students will never learn. The fear is that they may learn less deeply and notice it too late. Efficiency can be seductive, but not every shortcut leads forward. That tension is what makes this moment so important. Because college has always been more than a credential factory. It is a place where young adults learn to navigate uncertainty. AI does not remove that challenge. It intensifies it. It asks students to become more responsible users of powerful tools at the very time they are still learning how to judge what is true, useful, and fair. It asks professors to design assessments that reward understanding rather than imitation. It asks administrators to write policies that are clear enough to guide behavior and flexible enough to survive the next wave of change. In other words, AI is forcing higher education to prove something it has always claimed to value: discernment. And yet, this story is not headed toward collapse. It is headed toward adaptation. The most thoughtful campuses are not asking whether AI should exist. They are asking how to make its use visible, honest, and educational. They are defining acceptable help. They are training students and staff. They are building disclosure norms so that students can say what they used, what they verified, and what they wrote themselves. They are treating AI less like a forbidden secret and more like a literacy. That shift matters. Because when a technology becomes common, the most dangerous response is confusion. The most effective response is clarity. That is the future college is moving toward. A future where AI may help draft a lesson, but the professor still teaches it. A future where AI may help start a paper, but the student still has to own the argument. A future where research is faster, feedback is more immediate, and support is more personalized, but judgment remains human. The classroom may change. The workflow will certainly change. The culture of trust will have to change too. But the purpose of college does not disappear. It becomes more demanding, not less. Because in a world where machines can generate answers instantly, the real value of higher education may be the ability to ask better questions. So no, this is not a story about robots replacing people. It is a story about shortcuts, pressure, and a system being forced to define learning more carefully than ever before. AI is reshaping college for students and professors, but it is not erasing the need for effort, ethics, or imagination. If anything, it is putting those qualities under a brighter light. The campuses that thrive will not be the ones that worship AI or fear it. They will be the ones that use it wisely, teach it openly, and keep human judgment at the center. Ask your school for a clear AI policy you can actually follow.